everyone, it's Becky here and happy Saturday. I hope you all had a lovely week. Thank you very much for nice comments I received on my latest video. It was very lovely to know how are you all doing and also what you've been up to lately. And today I'm coming to you with a little bit different video because, as you know, I really enjoy doing tag videos and I found myself being tagged twice, and I realized that it's been a while since I did some tag video, and then I decided why not try something different and why not to put two tags together into one video, which I know is not something people would be doing very often, and I don't think it's something I will stick to, obviously, but I just thought that it might be quite fun to do something like this for a Saturday. I will have chapters in this video, so feel free to skip to any tag or any part which you would like to, and I'm just gonna start because I'm very excited. So the first tag I was tagged in like maybe 2 weeks ago was actually created by Jim at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, and it's J tag. And what is interesting about this tag, that is actually the part of series of the tag when Jim created prompts for every letter in alphabet, and I happen to have a J tag because I was kindly tagged by Nikki from Red Dot Reads, and I will just start. So the first prompt in this tag is J is for Japan. What was the last book you read by a Japanese author? And the last book, and also by the Japanese author I read, is this one, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. And very briefly about this book, I also have a book review, which was actually my very first book review video I posted on this channel, and it was also the second video I ever posted here. So yeah, if you fancy a little bit of awkwardness on my side, you can go and check that video. I will link it up here. But then you have a little bit more of my opinion on this book. But very briefly, it's a story in which people have a chance to travel in time. They can visit the past by visiting one special coffee house, but there are certain rules that must be obeyed. For example, you need to be sitting in a concrete seat, which is meanwhile occupied by ghosts, so that's interesting. And also you have only that much time as long as your coffee or the drink you are drinking won't get cold. Once it's cold, you are taken back from, well, not taken back, but you are taken to the present from the time you were in. So you have only that little time to fix whatever you would like to until your drink you are drinking won't get cold. I hope that makes sense. So this is the last book I read. I really enjoyed it. It's very, very thin. You can read it very quickly. I remember one thing I did not enjoy particularly here, where like the dialogues were a little bit, I don't know, I did not enjoy dialogues very much, but overall the story and the idea, I really did enjoy it. So that is the first prompt. The second one is J is for Jamaica. What was the last book you read by an author from Caribbean? I must confess that I don't think I ever read a book which was from author from Caribbean, unfortunately, but I did my homework and I did some research on the books which I would really like to read in future, and I found one which is called These Ghosts Are Family by Macy Card, and it seems very interesting because this should follow one Jamaican family and basically its history for some generations. And one of the characters, who is called Stanford, apparently he was pretending his own death for 30 years and he's stolen the identity of his best friend, and before he actually dies he meets his daughter who thought that he was dead for 30 years. And that's all I know about this book. I haven't read it yet. If any of you did, please let me know, but it should be a very, very interesting read. So that is the prompt number 2. And now J for Jane Austen and July. What are the readings for Jane Austen and July 2021? You took, oh, if you are late to the party, what did you read for Jane Austen and July 2021? So yeah, I'm doing this after the July, but as many of you know, I created one separated video regarding Jane Austen and July, which I'll again link up here, and I must say this is one of the most favorite videos I created because I really had a lot of fun. I talk about books and films, and I take quiz in which character from Jane Austen stories am I, and yeah, it has quite surprising results. But during this time I read books Emma, I read Lady Susan, and I enjoyed both of them. I think they both are quite different. I mean, they are very different, and I would highly recommend you to read both of them. And then I have a couple books which I started to read, but it's not like I did not finish them. I'm still sort of like reading them, but definitely one book I really want to still tackle is Persuasion. That's one book I really, really do want to read, but I still did not have a chance, so it's still on my list. J is for James Joyce. What is your favorite novel by James Joyce? Have you been brave enough to tackle Finnegan's Wake? Unfortunately, I did not read anything from this author, I think, but I know that this is the author of the Ulysses book, which I know only because I was watching The Staged, which is a mini-series which was released last year during lockdown with David Tennant and Michael Sheen. And although I will not recommend you a book, I will recommend you a TV series to watch, so I'm sorry for this unbookish answer, but yeah, if you want something that will cheer you up, check out The Staged. David Tennant and Michael Sheen, they are amazing, and yeah, there is Ulysses book mentioned, and that's written by James Joyce, so that's my answer for this question. Okay, J is for joke. Tell us a bookish joke. You know how I really dislike telling jokes, and I mentioned this in one of my previous videos because I'm really the worst person when it comes to telling jokes. I don't remember them, and just telling jokes is really not my cup of tea, so no. I mean, there is a joke, like very bad one, but you know, like Teacup the Storyteller. I love tea, but telling jokes is not my cup of tea. This is the reason why I don't tell jokes. But here is one for you. Telling jokes is not my cup of tea, oh my god. Okay, I need to cut this out, oh my goodness. Okay, J is for Jaguar. Jaguar. I would say Jaguar in Slovak, but Jaguar, let's say. Enzo Ferrari described the Jaguar as the most beautiful car in the world. What do you consider the most beautiful car in the world? This one. Yellow Mini Cooper is the car of my dreams. So I think those were all questions from this tag, and I would also like to tag someone. I would love to tag Alice from Alice and a Giant Bookshelf, and also Gemma from Gems of Books. If you ladies are watching and did not do this tag yet, please feel free to do so, because I would love to hear your answers for this and also your favorite car. So that's the tag number 1, and now it's time for you to make some cup of tea or coffee or anything you like, and we can jump to another tag video. Yay! Hello, welcome back. Welcome back for this little break. I had to wait a little bit because today the sun was so bright and so shiny, which is something I absolutely love, because I don't know how about you, but here the weather is definitely changing and the mornings are really cold, but then up until like 10 a.m. and after that we have again like 30 degrees almost, but the sun is very high, very shining, and I love it, but it was really difficult to film with this, so I had to wait for a while, but I'm back here and I'm gonna do another tag, and this tag is very different from the previous one. This has nothing to do with alphabet or anything, but it's called the book buying tag, and we're going to be talking about books. And I was very kindly tagged by Bookish Gems, but unfortunately I did not manage to find who created this tag originally, because when I tried to look it up I only found similar videos which were created almost like 7 years ago, and then I found one which claimed to be the original one, but that was created 3 months ago, so I don't know, I apologize, but I don't know who did this. Okay, so let's begin. The question number 1 is, where do you buy your books from? Usually if I do buy it from like bigger stores, you know, those ones when you can also have a cup of tea or something like that. In Slovakia we have 2 major ones, you could say. It's something like equivalent to Waterstones in UK, so when I'm in the UK I usually go to Waterstones, or then here it's either Pantarei or Martinus. But I would also say that I do like to buy books from smaller stores, and I do love some antique shops, and you know, those kind of stores, like if you go to holiday you usually have like small shops which are not part of any franchise or anything, they're just books, you know, and something like charity shops or these sort of things. I really do love it, so that's where I buy my books from. Sometimes I do it online because, as we all know, the quarantine and lockdown during the last year, so I really started to buy books online as well, but whenever I have a chance I really try to go and explore these teeny tiny shops. I do love them. Do you ever pre-order books, and if so, do you do this in your store or online? I don't. I mean, actually there is one single book I wanted to pre-order lately, and it's the book I already mentioned once before, Meaning in Making by Sean Tucker, who is this photographer I've been admiring very much. But the reason why I did not pre-order it before it came out, it's already out, so if you want you can go and check it. But I did not pre-order it because it was the time when I was thinking that by this time I will be in Scotland again, and I didn't actually know where to send it to, whether to here or to Scotland, and I did not pre-order it. I did not buy it yet, so I'm still waiting what will happen, because I'm still applying for different jobs everywhere, so wherever I will go, that's where I will buy that book. On average, how many books do you buy a month? Usually 1 or 2 maximum. I don't buy books very often because I do try to be quite mindful when it comes to book buying, and also, you know, I don't have a job yet, so I don't buy that many books, and it's also one of the reasons why I never done any sort of book haul video on this channel, because it's just not something I would be doing. Like, I don't used to go to bookstores, for example charity shops or anything like this, and I don't buy books just because they're cheaper. I don't like doing that. When I go to buy some book, I usually know which one it is, and sometimes if I go, for example, for my birthday or something, that's the case when I'm like, I don't know what kind of books I want to buy, but I'm just gonna have joy just by looking at the books and choosing which one to buy. But I never buy that many books a month or anything like that, because yeah, I mean, there is nothing wrong with if people are buying many books, but it's just not something I would be doing. Like, usually when I buy books, it's the one I know I want, I know what it's about, I know who've written it, and it's not like a surprise for me or anything. But yeah, that's just me. Do you use your local library? No, I don't, unfortunately, and I know I should, and I used to before the whole lockdown thing. Definitely I've been using library very much because of my uni work, and I would go to uni library almost like every day, but that was mostly because of the academical stuff I needed to tackle. But then for borrowing like normal books, like fictional books, I haven't been in a library for a very long time, but I really do want to. If so, how many books can you borrow at a time? I don't know, unfortunately, because I haven't been in the library for quite a while. What is your opinion on library books? Love them, and although I have not been in the library for a while, I think that libraries are one of the greatest inventions of the time, of the planet, like ever. Libraries are amazing, and definitely go there, use your library. That's my task for this year as well. How do you feel about charity shops or second-hand books? Love them. I mean, as you know, I mentioned before that one of my biggest treasures I found in the charity shop was the memoirs of a geisha, which I did video recently about, and I just love them. It's something for me, like going to those little antique stores where you can just, you know, you never know what you find there, and going to charity shops is something like this. Like, mostly, honestly, when I was in the UK, because here we don't have that many charity shops, we actually... Yeah, charity shops is not a thing for us. We do have like second-hand shops and different sort of shops, but literally charity shops, as they are in the UK, I don't think we have that many of them here. But when I was in Scotland, I would go to charity shop mostly to buy books. So yeah, I love them. Do you keep your read and TBR pile together on the same bookshelf or not? I am honestly the weirdest person when it comes to doing or keeping or anything to do with the TBR, because honestly, I'm fascinated by how people can sort their TBR, how they can plan their TBR, and how can they keep their books for TBR. I know that some people are, as here, having like separated bookshelf. I know that some people are having their animals to choose the books from, and I just find it so fascinating to watch people choosing the books and just everything to do with TBR, because for me, I am like the most boring person when it comes to this. I have the list of the books I know I want to read at some point, and that's it. Like, I know that these are the books I would like to read, and whenever I have time or I feel like reading that book, I will do it. But I never even do sort of like TBR for next month. Like, I did it recently on Instagram because I was tagged to do so, but it's not something I would do naturally, because I know that if I would do this, I would anyway not read all those books, because meanwhile I will find some other book I really want to read. So TBR is just not my thing, and that's also why I'm not doing those type of videos either. So yeah, I'm very weird booktuber. Do you plan to read all of the books that you own? Actually, I think that I did read all of them, because as I mentioned, I do not have that many of books. I mean, this is not my library, this is the library we have in our living room, but the library I have upstairs with my books, with the books I got or which I purchased or anything. As I mentioned before, I very often do know what kind of book I want to buy, and therefore I don't think that in my library there is a book which I have not read. If there is, that would be because I decided not to finish it. But now when I'm very quickly going through my library in my head, I think that I read all the books I have in my library, because it's not massive, it's just, yeah, it's small, but I think I read all of them. Where are we? What do you do with books that you own that you feel you will never read or you did not enjoy? Well, as I mentioned before, usually I have in my library only books which I already read or which I like very much. But if there were some books which I did not enjoy or there were books which I knew that I will never read again, I usually take them to, well, sort of like charity shops we have here if possible. In Scotland I did it regularly. Usually I would use charity shops as sort of like a library, so I went there, I bought a book for £1 and after I read it I brought it back there. That's sort of like recycling of the books, which I really like to do. Have you ever donated books? Yes. Have you ever been on the book buying ban? No, because as I mentioned, I try to be mindful about how many books and what kind of books I'm buying, so no, I haven't. But well, there is a chance I will be at some point, because more I'm doing this, more I'm obsessed with books in general, so we never know. Okay, do you feel that you buy too many books? No. No, I don't. And those are all the questions. And again, here I would like to tag someone, and I would love to tag Nikki from Red Dot Reads, who tagged me to the previous tag video, because I would love to know this sort of information about you and how you buy the books. And also, I'm so sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly, but it's Celie from Celie channel. I apologize if I said it incorrectly. I will write it here as well. But if you two ladies, please feel free to do this tag, and I think that's me for today. I know it's been a little bit different video putting these two tags together. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Again, I don't think I will do this ever again, but I quite enjoyed doing it today. It was lovely. So you take care. Let me know how you feel about yourself and buying books. Do you buy too many books during month, or are you like me that you actually don't buy that many books? I would really like to know. So if there is anything regarding these two tags you feel like you have something to say, please drop a comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you with another video very soon. Take care, bye!